All right, and we are live. Hello, everybody. Happy St. Patrick's Day. We have Mel, the Aloha Shirt Psychic, in the house tonight. How are you doing, Mel?
I'm good. Erin go bra. Happy
What's
St.
that?
Patrick's Day. That means Ireland forever. Erin go
Oh,
bra.
nice.
Yeah, I've got on my Irish Hawaiian shirt, my green.
I didn't even think to wear green. I should have.
Hey, what kind of Irishman are you?
Right.
That doesn't
I do
sound-
have. Hold on one sec. Let's go up. I'm like a mix of everything. I think my biggest, heritage that I have is Irish. I have a lot of Irish in my family. But hey, Sheila, and hello, everybody. All right. Sorry, I was running late a little bit. I was waiting a little bit later than I was planning to for my carryout for dinner tonight. So thank you, everyone, for being patient. Before we get started, if I can just make a couple announcements real quick. I want to thank everybody that subscribed to my channel. I just hit 3,000, so I'm very excited about that. Thank you. If you all haven't seen already in my community page on my channel, I do have a post going that said I hit 3,000 to comment on that post, and we'll get you in the running for my 2 free 30-minute reading giveaway. So if anybody's interested in that and you haven't done so already, please go leave a comment. We have such a wonderful community. Everybody's been so supportive and wonderful. So I want to say thank you all.
We do have a good community. So when you get to each 1,000, you do a couple free readings, or how does that?
Yeah, usually. I try to. Before I was doing it like a free 30-minute reading every 500 subscribers. And especially like the last couple months since I've been working with you, it's just been going up so fast. I just figure it's easier just to do it every 1,000 and give 2 away.
There you go. Perfect. I just see on TV, I see the banner. U.S. warns China, don't come to Russia's aid.
Mm.
The other thing I want to mention, I don't mean to change topics.
Oh, you're fine.
I just heard on the news that there are still American businesses doing business in Russia. And so I don't know who they are, but my advice is to everybody Google that. And I am going to boycott those products because in my opinion, if they're still doing business in Russia or with Russia, then they're equally as responsible for the bloodshed that's going on in Ukraine.
Yeah. So, you want to make sure that we support good businesses that
I won't name names because I'm opening it up for a lawsuit, but there's a paper towel brand that are owned by the brothers who are big in oil. And so anyway, there's a lot of different brands that company owns. So Google it, and if you can, boycott some of those brands. There's a couple of pharmaceutical companies, and one makes vaccines. But it's not Moderna. Okay. So there you go.
Yeah, but you know what? I am really proud of a lot of the companies that are, closing their operations, and there's been quite a lot of them that we've been hearing about. So.
Oh, I'm ecstatic.
Yeah.
And I talked to one of my friends who has relatives in Russia today, and they're saying in Russia, it's like, business is gone. People who work to get businesses gone. Money in the bank is not worth anything. You can't use Visa Master. You can still use communication devices, but everything pretty much. And so a lot of them are not liking Putin. And in fact, when I watched the news and the Russian lady was holding a sign up behind the commentator, I don't speak Russian, but I asked my Russian friends what it meant. And it said, don't believe what they're telling you. It's all lies and propaganda. Talking about Putin.
Yeah.
The Russian
And
people.
I've seen a few of them. I've seen another thing, like they had a news, somebody with a sign. I don't know if it's the same one that you're talking about, but yeah, a lot of the people of Russia are. It's kind of tricky because if they do protest, what is it? They can get 15 years in jail now.
You
So
even mention the word war. You
yeah,
can. But here's what I say. Like some of the commentators on a network whose name we won't mention, and there's a commentator whose first name rhymes with the F word.
yeah,
We don't want to go to YouTube jail. Here's what I say. If there's so much for Putin, then go there.
right,
Right?
yeah.
And
Thank you, Dave.
let's see how much you can enjoy your freedom of speech there, because it's non-existent.
Right.
And like I said, if you say the word war or you talk about Putin, you can go to the gulags for 15 years. So I wish they'd go there, and then when they complain about it, I'm like, no, goodbye.
I had somebody that follows me send me some, like, it was a YouTube video of somebody in Russia that was interviewing people on the street, and everybody seemed like they were really intelligent, but you could just tell that they were also fearful to say anything against Putin because he was asking them questions about Putin or the war and all that. And yeah, I mean, it was just really sad to see.
I heard Putin say that any country that joined NATO after 1991, he doesn't accept as being in NATO. Yeah, because and that's the time in 1989 or 1991 when the Soviet Union broke apart.
Right.
A lot of those countries then joined NATO. So, he wants the old Soviet Union back, all those countries, but it ain't going to happen.
Right. Well, and like we've said before, too, if Putin had it his way, his goal is to, reunite all of the countries in the Soviet Union and add them back to Russia.
Not going to happen.
No.
My Croatia tour is going this summer. I mean, Croatia is like 4 or 5 countries away. So in order for for him to invade Croatia, he'd have to go through like Slovakia, the Czech Republic, a little piece of Hungary, and but
I'm not feeling that.
I'm not afraid to go on the trip at all.
I mean, he can't even take over Ukraine, and so how do you think he's going to take over any of these other countries?
Well, he's a murderer, and he's gonna. I mean, even I see his own people putting him out, but
yeah.
People are worried about nuclear war, and we talked about this before. I don't see that. I think if he tried to press the buttons, some of his top people would stop him, because they don't want to go either. So
I feel like he's crazy enough to do it, but I agree. I feel like he would be stopped before that would happen.
I think they're going to take him out. I'm telling you.
Yeah, I've felt that as well. Or, he goes into hiding and hides the rest of his life and steps down, but I'm not feeling his time around is too much longer.
Well, him like thinking of this whole thing of, annihilation, just slash and burn is not good. I mean, come on, he brought a maternity hospital. He opened fire on innocent people trying to escape. It's like, hello. I mean, he'll go down in history under the likes of Stalin, Hitler, Pol Pot, all of those guys.
Yeah. Somebody had asked earlier how Finn is doing. Me and my husband just got a little Australian Shepherd pup, and he's doing really good. It's definitely a bit of an adjustment because he's pretty hyper and likes to chew on things, and I guess I wasn't fully prepared of what we would be getting into, but he's doing really well.
Well, they're high energy dogs.
Yes, he is.
Oh, I just saw on the news that the Russian casualties are high. And I understand that their food is like their field rations are like 7 years old. They can't even eat them. So,
oh, really?
I think a lot of the Russian troops are gonna go over to Ukraine side.
Yeah. Well, and you can tell that the morale in the Russian army is very low. I mean, I picked that up very clearly, intuitively. They don't know what they're fighting for.
Correct. Well, in the beginning, they didn't. In the beginning, they thought it was all just a drill. So anyway, I'm looking.
Well, I have some questions starred. I'm trying to keep up with the chat and talk with you, but if anybody has any questions, just write them in all caps and put a couple heart emojis around them, and I'll try to get everybody's question.
Put a couple what?
A couple heart emoji signs around it, just to make it a little bit easier to see.
Well, somebody gave $2. Jamie gave $2.
Yes, I saw that. I had a super chat in the very beginning too, and I messaged her before we went live. But thank you so much for the support.
Okay.
So Butterflies Are Free asks, will Steve Bannon get any charges due to his latest calling his supporters to attack Biden?
Well, I understand he's back in court again. I just heard he's back in court. I don't know for what. But, we have freedom of speech in this country, but you can't call on people to hurt other people.
Right.
And so, Steve Bannon thinks he's slick, but to use the vernacular, he ain't as slick as he thinks he is.
Right.
I always saw him under indictment again, and I've always seen him going to jail again.
Yeah.
That stupid radio network or whatever he started, I see that being shut down at some point. So, I will take perverse pleasure in seeing I will take perverse pleasure in seeing Bannon behind bars.
Well, I thought Chris just said that the judge that Bannon saw was a Trumpster, but I thought I heard somewhere that he was agreeing with the DOJ if the DOJ decided to indict him, that he was all for the DOJ's decision. But I see
him indicted by the DOJ.
Yeah, I agree with you, Mel. I've always felt him going back behind bars, and I don't know if I hadn't heard that he just called to the supporters to attack Biden. I don't know if it's because of that. I feel like it's because of what he's done in the past.
That was a good question. Butterflies Are Free. I see one by C.S. Lavie. C.S. Lavie. Do you see that one? It's at the top. Can I read it or no?
Yeah, go ahead.
It says, Merrick Garland charge all politicians and spouses involved in the January 6th insurrection. Will they be ousted from government positions or judgeships? Well, number one, in order to charge them, you have to have evidence that they did something. So will he get evidence on some of those politicians? Absolutely, yes. Will they be charged? Yes, but not all. That would be like if my husband did something wrong and they charge me, that you can't do that.
Right.
But if their spouses were involved in the insurrection, then yes, they will be charged as well and prosecuted. You just can't oust somebody from a government position, even if I don't know how that works, even if they're convicted of a crime. I guess technically they could still be in jail and try to hold their government position. So I don't know how that works, if they have to be impeached. I don't know how that works. But I do see some of them out of those positions, yes. And I see judges being sanctioned because of some of their looking the other way. I keep seeing Clarence Thomas off the court. And now they came out, I just heard the other night that his wife, Ginny, was involved a lot more than she says she was. And when she sent that message publicly, she didn't know what was going to happen. She was there.
Yeah, she was at the rally.
Yep. So guess what?
Yeah, I've always felt too that I agree. I felt Clarence Thomas would have to step down at some point because he just gets so much pressure because of his wife's involvement in that. And I wouldn't be surprised if I've always felt like he's not in great health, that he may use that as an excuse to just step down. Because we all know that he wouldn't just step down unless it was really bad for him, give the Democrats a seat.
I see him off the court.
Yeah.
So I see that Biden is going to be at least able to appoint at least 3 Supreme Court justices.
Mm.
So, but the one that just left, that doesn't count because that person was a progressive anyway.
Mm-hmm.
But let's see, there's 9 justices, and I think it's 6, right? Yeah, 6 are right wing. But then Clarence Thomas, that makes 5.
And I've always felt Kavanaugh would be leaving shortly too. Correct. But I feel like that might be another year or 2 away.
Well, I see him off the court, but I keep seeing more justices on the court. So good. And I also see term limits coming for justices.
Yeah.
Like, after X amount of years, you got to get off the court. So good.
Yeah, Chris makes a good point. He says Clarence Thomas sees all of the cases that his wife sends to him in her work. It's such a conflict of interest.
It is, but there's no law against it.
Yeah. I don't know about you, but I feel like here very shortly there's going to be a bunch of reforms because I don't even think that they'll be able to buy stocks here soon.
I've been saying that a long time. My guides show me there is going to be Supreme Court reform and saying, okay, term limits, you have to recruit. You have to recuse yourself if it's a conflict of interest, and what describes that. So,
yeah. Deb Z asks, what about Amy Coney Barrett? Is she leaving soon?
Unfortunately, no.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's weird. I see Gorsuch staying on the court, but I don't see her on the court for a super duper long time.
I agree.
I don't know if it's due to illness or whatever. I don't know, but I just see her off the court.
I don't know if it's in Biden's presidency, though, or if it is, it's his second term. I don't feel like it's coming like really soon, her leaving and stepping down.
So even with the replacement of the Supreme Court justice, it's still going to be 6-3.
Yeah.
But then I see it going 5-4, right?
Mm-hmm.
And 4-5.
Yeah.
The other way around. So that means 3 are going to have to go.
And I've always felt like they, at some point, may add another judge too.
I see that too. At least a couple more judges. Mm-hmm. So good.
Somebody said something. The chat's going so fast, it's hard to keep up with it today.
I've got mine slowed down. I see 720. Wisdom Warrior asked, will the animals in the Keep Zoo be rescued?
I think I did start that one.
I think they did rescue them, didn't they? They're not like in the zoo anymore. Right?
I hadn't heard it, but
I
agree with you. I feel like they may have already been rescued, but I do feel bad for all of that wildlife. That's all of the casualties over there.
Let me see. I'm Googling it. I can tell you. I probably think what they'll do is like trade them with other zoos or let other zoos watch them.
Yeah.
This was
I'm
done.
not feeling too concerned about the zoo animals. I'm not picking up them being in a lot of danger. So if they haven't already rescued them, I agree. I think that they would probably send them to other zoos.
The only thing I can see is going back to March the 6th.
Maxine says that I think they moved them to Poland. Yeah, I feel like
I heard. Good. That was a good question. I'm an animal lover.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
Chris, I'm feeling that Poland is in danger. I don't sense that. I know that America has troops. My friends from the Czech Republic and Slovakia tell me that they have troops along the Slovakian border, and at some point going into Poland. So, I mean, you might be hooking into what Putin thought he might do, but if he makes an aggressive act against Poland, then it's not good.
They're part of NATO, aren't they?
Yes, they are. So is Slovakia. So is the Czech Republic. And those countries are also part of the European Union. I don't know if Poland is, but I know that they're part of NATO. So
yeah, I'm not picking that up either. And I'm not really picking NATO sending troops in or NATO fighting Russia, at least not right now. I think that NATO will be helping with, giving them funds and supplies, even some, weapons. But I'm not seeing troops going in, and I would feel that if they invaded Poland.
I see that guy in Syria being overturned too. That president that Putin put in power, I see him overturned.
And even the one in Belarus, isn't Belarus the one helping him?
Yeah, I forgot the guy's name, but that guy, he didn't win. They had elections and he stuffed the ballot boxes and people were rioting. And I still see a lot of dissension coming in Belarus. Like, I almost think like a civil war there.
Yeah.
So I see that guy gone too.
Have you picked up any timing of when you think the war in Ukraine will end? I haven't felt that it's going to be an extremely long war, but I mean, I feel like it might be like 6 months to a year.
Well, the Ukrainians won't stop. I can tell you that right now.
Right.
And good for them. I see them getting a lot more help. So good. I think that didn't Congress pass a bill to send them money? And
yes, they just did.
Paid. I think a bunch of senators, the repubes, voted against it, some of them, but now they're saying Biden should do more. Well, if you thought that, why didn't you vote for the frickin' bill?
Right.
I said fricking. That's a legal word. I don't know when it's going to end. I just don't have a clue. I see the number 9. It could be 9 days, 9 weeks, 9 months. It could be September. It's not 9 years. I can tell you that.
Yeah, I didn't feel like it's going to be like a years and years on conflict. I hope not, but I had asked this. I had somebody ask me this question on Tuesday. Claudia asked, "Will President Zelensky meet with Putin? And if yes, will he be okay?" I'm not seeing him meeting with Putin.
No,
and that I don't think would be a good decision on his part to do that.
If Zelensky meets with Putin, it won't be face to face. It would be more like this, like a conference. But
I don't even think Putin would be receptive to meeting with him.
Well, here's what would happen. Like they're saying, oh, there's peace talks going on right now. And if there's any peace talks, Putin's going to say, well, I want half of Ukraine, or I want this, or I want that. And, at first Putin said they can't go into NATO or whatever. And now Zelensky said, well, we won't go into NATO. But, those peace talks, that's a sham. That is another misinformation that Putin is putting out. And I think they're just doing it to say, oh, look, we've tried the peace talks, but the Ukrainians or Ukraine wouldn't agree. And so it's just propaganda. It's a show. I mean, Putin, he's got this delusion that as we said earlier, that he's going to get the countries in the old Soviet Union back, but it's not going to happen.
Yeah, I don't see it being too successful. But like we said before, I feel like the conflict will end whenever. I feel like it's somebody close to Putin that takes him out for entertainment purposes only. But his country is going to rebel against him as well.
I think Navalny, that guy that he kidnapped and locked up, took him off an airplane. I see at some point he's either going to hold a high office in Ukraine. In Russia. Mm-hmm. Or be consulting to somebody in a higher office in Russia. He's going to have a lot of power, but good, he won't misuse it.
Yeah.
I just feel the commentators turning against Putin.
Yeah. I just feel intuitively, though, all that poison that they gave Navalny really is taking a toll on his body. And I mean, of course, he's not being taken care of that great in prison. So.
Yeah, but he won't give up either.
I agree.
Putin underestimated him.
All right. So Hilda asked, Mel and Kevin, would you read on the silent country Saudi Arabia, who is just waiting in the wings? I worry about the Saudi king passing, and then they will have the next demon in waiting, which is MSB.
I don't know I don't know what MSB means.
That's his son. I don't remember. I didn't think it was MSB. It's the guy that allegedly had that journalist killed.
Oh, okay. I know who you're talking about. Well, I don't think the king of Saudi Arabia is ready to croak anytime soon.
Yeah, I'm not picking that up intuitively.
And when he does, I don't know I don't think MSB would get the job.
Yeah, I feel like that's a while off still, and I think some things are going to happen before that.
I don't
And
know.
I think more information will come out about that journalist that was killed.
No, a lot more information. I just don't know how they do their like
MBS, that's who they meant. Yeah.
or MBS. I don't know how they do successors to the throne in Saudi Arabia. You know,
I would think it would be his son, but I've always felt more stuff coming out about that about them killing that journalist, and I felt like some news might come out about Kushner knowing some information on that too.
Oh, they know a lot more than what they're saying. And you know what? Information is going to come out as well about how a lot of those January 6th people, you know, how that was a playbook from the Kremlin.
Yeah.
And how the dark money fueled all of that. So
there's a lot coming out about the dark money. A lot coming out on that.
And I'm sure that certain politicians like Cheeto Head are still on the phone with the Kremlin. So.
Well, Colleen makes a point. She says, Ukraine is just a start. He will push across Europe if he takes Ukraine. I love Biden, but we need a no-fly zone over Ukraine. You know, I disagree on that because I feel like if a no-fly zone was put in, it's going to be a nuclear World War III, and that doesn't do anybody any good. Not that I don't have a lot of sympathy for Ukraine, but I see us helping Ukraine in whatever way that we can.
Well, if it's a nuclear war, nobody's going to survive.
Right, exactly.
Or who'd want to? I mean, but you know, I'm telling you that we've got troops, and we've got, you know, Biden's just not going to sit back and not send anybody there. So we've got American troops already in Slovakia, and I think kind of around Poland. So I think we've got 100,000 troops there. And if we need to, we'll send more.
But those are for the NATO nations if he does anything to a NATO country.
Putin can't hold a war on all those fronts. He can't. He's in Ukraine. He's got 150,000 soldiers. Yeah. He can't hold a war on all of those fronts. And really, then if somebody came in through Romania and up through Moldavia and went across that way, and then you've got troops coming this way, you kind of got them. Where's they going to go? Belarus? Or, I mean, so.
I don't think they've even said, though, that even if Putin were to be able to take over Ukraine, he wouldn't be able to keep it because all the citizens would rebel, and he doesn't have the troop power to stay in that area for that long, or it would be extremely costly. But he wouldn't be able to do that and take over other countries, I don't think.
He's already running out of food. He's already running out of supplies. So anyway.
I agree, Tracy.
That was very
Tracy good. Says Russia will be stopped. I believe our biggest concern will be China in the future. China will be a concern in the future, but it's a while off.
But China's not going to, I don't think they want to screw with us too much because they've got too much invested here and we've got too much invested there.
Right.
You know, somebody said that, well, we owe China a lot of money. And I go, oh, well.
Yeah. I think that they're going to be more of a problem probably in like a decade or two. I think that they'll want to be the ones that control the world with their military force. So. But I'm not seeing any issues, like military issues with China right now.
I never see one world where there's 2 or 3 leaders that control the whole world. It's not going to happen. Yeah. I'm just not worried about China right now. People are wondering about them invading Taiwan. I don't think so. Not after they're seeing the flack that this Russia invading Ukraine caused.
Yeah.
And I see a point in time, maybe within the next 15 or 20 years, when China will not be as much communist. In fact, I think what's going to happen is just like the Soviet Union was disbanded at some point, I think the Communist Party in China will too.
So are you feeling like China will break up into states and get smaller?
No, but I think
the
Communist Party there will break up into other parties and it'll become more free enterprise because right now there's a lot of wealthy people in China. who are not necessarily in the party, or if they are, but
Mhm.
they're very, very wealthy, very wealthy.
Yeah.
And they tend to, those people tend to be more toward capitalism. So at some point, I don't see the communist regime in China lasting.
Yeah, as you're talking about that, I think at some point the Chinese people will kind of rebel and make some changes to their government.
I just see I see a big leader coming along. What Gorbachev was to the former Soviet Union, it'll be somebody within the party that's kind of already in the party that'll work up through the ranks and say, wait a minute, and start kind of opening up a lot more freedoms and things like that. I mean, it's going to seem to be more repressive before that happens, but it is going to happen.
I saw a couple people ask this, and I'm not feeling this at all. Nancy wants to know, will Putin make a move to take Alaska back soon? I'm not feeling that at all.
Well, good luck getting into it.
Right.
But if he does, I mean, Alaska's kind of all wilderness. So, people can hide in the mountains and do this and do that and have a guerrilla warfare. If he does that, he knows it's going to be an active war against the United States.
Exactly. And it would be the end of Russia. Like I said, if it ever got to that point, it would be a nuclear war. I just don't feel that.
I don't see it either.
Yeah. I saw a couple people ask that, but no, I wasn't picking that up at all.
That would be like North Korea trying to take over Hawaii.
Right. Be Kind asks, when is MTG going to get her comeuppance? Yeah.
I think she already is. I mean,
Yeah.
Think about this. The whole thing in Ukraine has taken the spotlight off Donald Trump. And I'm sure that Donald Trump is just seething because, he'd like to be in the spotlight. Whether it was positive or negative attention, he ate it up.
Right.
And so does Marjorie Taylor Greene. And if she can't, be big in the news, their egos get bruised. So her comeuppances have started already.
Yeah. Well, and I feel that there's going to be like a handful of Republicans that are going to get in a lot of trouble from the January 6th, and she's definitely one of them, I feel.
And also the thing with Matt Gaetz, I'm not saying that she was involved in it, but there's something there that's not kosher. So
Yeah.
she's going to get her comeuppances.
Do you feel she's voted out? I have read on Boebert, and I feel Boebert, I think they redistrict her, and I definitely see her going out. Marjorie Taylor Greene, I wasn't so sure of intuitively.
Boebert will be out.
Yeah, I feel her definitely leaving.
But I think Marjorie Taylor, go ahead, I'm sorry.
I was going to say, if Marjorie Taylor Greene gets back in, I see it's very short because she's in a lot of trouble.
Well, she's from Georgia, I think.
In Georgia, yeah.
But it's a really red area she comes from.
Yeah, the red district.
I mean, I think they're going to get a lot on her with that whole January 6th thing. And, her affiliations with the ultra right and, kind of wanting to overthrow the government. She's going to be in a lot of hot water.
I definitely think that she will at least be indicted. I wouldn't be surprised if she has to spend some time behind bars.
I do see her in jail at some point.
Yeah, the scandals are coming against her. I'm not sure if it's because she's voted out or if it's because she's in trouble, but I see her leaving.
I see her gone. Boebert will definitely be gone. Thank goodness. Well, I just saw on the news, Putin vows to rid of traitors and scum. What is that supposed to mean?
He said what?
I just saw on the news. I'm looking at the flag across the bottom. It said Putin vows to rid Russia of traitors and scum. That's what it says. So, so now he's going to purge his own country and make it really bad.
Right. Mel Brozart asks, could there be a possible coup by Russian military to remove Putin? And we've kind of said that, yes, but I feel like it's more of an oligarch, like the oligarchs are against him, but they could use the military to get rid of him in that sense.
Well, at some point, one of his generals that I think he fired was like totally against him. And I saw one of the oligarchs who went to jail, I think in the gulags, he's out now. He was talking about, he's very anti-Putin now. So, in a way, it is a coup. But at some point, I see a democratic Russia.
Yeah.
So, here's what Putin is saying. I'm reading it. He's like a playbook from Donald Trump, or Donald Trump's a playbook from him.
I think it's the other way around.
It says oligarchs living large abroad are traitors. So,
well, like I said, it sounds like he's him and the oligarchs are getting along great, doesn't it?
right? Let the plot thicken.
Well, there's been quite a few of his generals that have already died over in Ukraine.
Oh,
well,
yeah.
Thank you so much, Katie.
And I think he's...
Thank you, Marie.
I'm sorry?
I was thanking... I got a couple super chats, so I wanted to say thank you.
Oh, cool. Anyway, I just see a lot of his people turning against him and all of that.
Well, Debsy says that Putin is rumored to have fired thousands of his staff out of fear of being poisoned. I did pick up intuitively. He is extremely nervous about being poisoned. That's why you see the big long table and everybody's at their distance. He's very paranoid. Thank you, Wendy.
He's here and he's got one person here and one at the end. Like, I think he's still shut away somewhere. I think he's paranoid about getting poisoned, about getting killed, about this or that.
Okay, Electric Storm just asked. She asked a while ago. Will Congress put money back in for COVID tests and the freeze vaccine because the money ran out and the Republicans don't want to fund it anymore? I do see it going back in.
So do I. Absolutely.
Thank you all so much. Thank you, Sharon. All right. Yeah, it feels like it's more towards the summer though, because I do see COVID being more milder, and being a lot more. We can go back to somewhat more of a normalcy life. But I do feel like there's going to be another outbreak or two this year, but they're milder and smaller.
I see one in the fall, but it's not going to be nearly what has been going on. But
yeah, I agree.
Well, I think COVID is pretty much behind us. At least we don't have the mask mandate here in Illinois anymore. Doctors' offices, some doctors' offices, yes, but like the grocery stores. I went into a restaurant tonight to pick up some to-go food. Mcconnell's restaurant.
We're twinning, both going out and getting carry out.
I'm sorry?
So we're both twinning, getting carry out, yeah.
I got Greek food. I love Greek food. So anyway, and Italian food. I like any kind of food. But it was nice to walk in and not have to wear a mask.
Yeah.
Oh, I see one. Progressives are trying to get Rouhani to run for president in 24. If Biden does not run, will he agree? I don't see that. Do you?
No.
I could be.
Who were they saying? I always thought Kamala will be president after Biden.
I don't know. I see in my lifetime we will have a female president, yes, and hopefully a person of color, yes. But I just don't know if it's Kamala or not.
I feel like it's. I feel Biden will decide he wants to run for a second term, and I feel he'll win. But I don't think he necessarily finishes out the second term. Not because I see him passing away, but I think. He's getting up there in age, and I think he's really grooming Kamala to take over.
Right.
And I feel Buttigieg, I think, will be at least vice president and possibly president in the future, too.
Oh, I've been saying that all along. At some point, we'll have a gay president, and Buttigieg will be. He's a good politician. He was in the military and everything. I don't know if the ultra right is ready for the first gentleman. Too bad. Anyway.
Do you feel intuitively that we've already had a gay president that was not open about it?
Oh, there was a bunch of them. They think Abraham Lincoln had some sugar in his gas tank. I can say that.
What's Sterling saying, Mimi?
Happy St. Patrick's Day, Mimi.
Yes, happy St. Patrick's
Day. Everybody.
Yes. All right.
Mimi is the nicest lady.
You know, she won a free reading from you and me, and then she won a free reading from somebody else all within like a month's time. I was like, you were really lucky there.
She said she never wins anything. I told her, well, this will change your luck,
Right. Yes, please hit the thumbs up. I'm sure most of you already subscribed to Mel's channel, but if you are not, please go over and subscribe to his channel.
Thank you, and Kevin. And when I get to 15,000, I'll give away 3 free half-hour readings.
Oh, nice. Are you getting pretty close to 15,000?
Yeah. Sandra von Bush, do you feel Putin is suicidal? No. People like him, unless he's in defeat, like Hitler in his bunker, and Hitler was being delusional. I keep talking about this movie. I can't think of the name of it. I think it was The Last Days of Hitler, but it's about him in the bunker. It's in German, but the subtitles are in English. But anyway, you know, he kept saying, oh, we're going to attack this front and that front. And his generals are looking at him like something wrong with him because we don't have these troops, right?
Right.
And so he just didn't. He thought everybody was against him. They were all traitors. At the very end, he shot himself.
Well, he was super paranoid too. So
right, but I don't think he's suicidal yet. I mean, I think he thinks he's infallible, and I think he thinks that that he's immortal almost.
Yeah,
but he's gone. Anything that will have Putin's name on it will be taken down.
Yeah. I don't see that he would be doing it. He has too big of an ego and he's a narcissist. I think unless it came to like you were saying, like something similar to Hitler where they were coming for him, so he just, took his own life to get out of it. That's the only way I would see him doing that, but I'm not picking that up.
I don't see that either. But think about it. He's sequestered away somewhere in a bunker. Okay. And he's so afraid of COVID. He's such a germphobe. So is Cheeto Head, by the way.
Yeah.
Typically, people, if they're that fearful of catching something, they're typically not suicidal. But I don't see a long life for Putin either. So,
Debsy asks, how many repugs are worried with the sanctions of Russia? No bonuses. Well, I don't think it's even just that, because the DOJ is going to investigate the oligarchs, and I see big news coming out about dark money funneled to the Republican Party. Right. So they are very worried.
I was just going to say that too, that when they investigate the oligarchs, a lot of that dark money stuff is going to come to the surface, and how they finance their campaigns. So I think there are a lot of them worried. But I have to say, though, the non-Trumplican Republicans, many of them voted for Biden to send the money to Ukraine and to help them out. And so, most of them, when they saw Zelensky's speech, they stood up and they applauded. So,
yeah.
Not all of them are bad, but
even the State of the Union, a lot of the Republicans were clapping for Biden when he was talking about Ukraine.
Correct. So, but I think, like the cockroaches will be gone.
Pamela asked, she was talking to you. Is it still up there?
Oh God, yes.
Maybe not for much longer. I feel all of his assets are going to be seized, and the Trump name will not be around for much longer.
Every time I see his name on that building, I don't even go look at that building. I cringe. But I always said this. I can see that. I mean, it's in huge letters, Trump. I can see them taking the name off. But I think what they're going to do is I got to find somebody who knows the mayor, because this would be the best. Just take off the T for a while and leave rump up, like R-U-M-P.
Right.
I see that taken down. Thank God. A lot of people got screwed on that deal. They were buying timeshares in there and things like that, and condos, and they really got screwed over. But that's par for the course for T-Rump.
Right. Will Stacy Abrams win the governor seat in Georgia? I feel she will win it.
If everybody gets out and votes, yes.
Somebody asked about Warnock winning his reelection seat, and I feel that too. I'm a little concerned when Ossoff, the other Democrat, runs for reelection. I think that race is going to be really close, but I feel good about Stacy and Warnock.
But here again, everybody needs to get out and vote because with
Yes.
these voter suppression laws. But
Hmm.
I think if she does win, then she'll try to at least get the laws more fair again in Georgia.
Well, and you have to think too. I think a big reason we have a lot to thank Stacey Abrams for, because had she not gotten out there and really got people out to vote, we would not have been so lucky with their Senate seats. I don't.
That's
think.
right. Or to get Biden in office.
He would have still won if he lost Georgia, like electoral count, but they would be Republican controlled Senate right now, I feel.
Right. I also think that, I don't know if the House in Georgia and the Senate is mostly Republican. So let's win. The House and the Senate down there are Republican, no matter what she tries to do. Good luck. But I see her changing Georgia, at least making it purple. So, yay. And Trump's not out of the woods in Georgia either.
I see more coming out about that.
And I see more coming out in New York, too, about Trump. So that whole thing's not over.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've said that, too.
I think just Bragg didn't think they had enough to go on. But I don't know. I'm not trusting this Bragg. There was something under the table that happened there. I'm convinced of that.
Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure when he's up for re-election. I think his race will be a little bit more closer. But, yes, I hope he's good for 4 years. Okay. Yeah, we've talked about Beto. I really hope he wins. It's going to be very close. I just don't know if he'll be able to get over that hill. There's a lot of cheating going on in Texas,
but ultimately, I see Abbott gone.
Yeah,
but it's funny. I still see Beto holding.
I've always felt more of a Senate seat for Beto personally.
I see him holding a really high seat in government, and good. I think at some point he'll run for a president again, and probably might even win. I don't know if it's this time around, but he can do it. He's charismatic enough, and he's good enough to do it. So, Mimi asked, did anybody see the full moon tonight? No, I've been too busy working.
Yeah, it was a beautiful day here in Ohio. It was like 70 degrees. Was it really nice? And
it was
warm in
it was
Chicago.
60, it was 65 here. So
nice. Supposed to get a little bit colder over the weekend, but I'll take it. It's been beautiful the last few days.
I'm going to be in Louisville on over the weekend. My great niece is getting her first confirmation, her first communion. I forget, but anyway. Okay.
Faye asks, will Ohio turn blue soon? Governor and senator. I think I'm feeling Ohio's going to stay a little bit more leaning towards the red for a little while anyway. I do think that Tim Ryan will have a good chance at the Senate seat. I'm not sure if DeWine is running for governor again. I think he is. I don't know who would be running against him on the Democratic side.
But at some point, I do see it going purple. So good.
Yeah.
Faye, wait, Toraisak? That J is probably a Y.
Turaichuk?
Toraichuk. Sorry, Faye, we're trying. Okay.
I think the Senate seat's going to be close, but I do like Tim Ryan, and he is really well known throughout the state.
Is he a Democrat?
Yeah, he's in the Congress from like the Youngstown region.
Oh, okay.
I mean, we already have a Democratic Senator, Sherrod Brown, and Rob Portman's a Republican, and he's retiring. So
okay.
I think it's going to be close on that race. I see Ohio leaning a little bit more towards the red side, but Tim Ryan is pretty popular throughout the state. So
my guys tell me it'll be really close. It'll be very close.
Do you feel Sinema and Manchin have been paid by Russians?
Well, Sinema was clearly getting donations from the GOP because when she went to that big GOP rally to raise money for her. So I'm sure that some of that money was dark money that kind of came from that side. Whether she got it directly or not, it doesn't matter, but indirectly, yes.
Yeah, I don't feel it directly from Russia, but definitely from GOP.
Manchin's in the oil business, so I'm sure that, he or the coal business, so I'm sure that he made his decisions based on his own business stuff. So,
the one Democrat, she's not in office anymore, that I do think was a Russian plant and was getting a lot of money from Russia was that Tulsi Gabbard when she was running for the Democratic primary.
I think that Russia has operatives here, that are like spies, whatever you want to call it. They're operatives that are putting out misinformation, especially in the political arena. So
I've always seen Ron Johnson out.
He'll be gone. Absolutely.
He'll be replaced with a Democrat. And I see Wisconsin staying blue. Somebody asked if PA will stay blue. I feel PA is going to stay blue.
That's an insult to a nutcase, Ron Johnson.
Yeah.
He's just out there somewhere. I don't know what planet he's on, but it's not Earth.
Right. And I think he's in some trouble because I think a lot's going to come out about, I believe he was one of the senators that went over to Russia when Trump was president that took money. And I think he has a lot of information about the January 6th too.
Oh, that DOJ investigation of the oligarchs is going to uncover a lot.
Yep.
Goodbye, Ronnie. So Deborah Godlewski. Will those militiamen be found guilty of attempted kidnapping of Michigan Governor Whitmore? Yes, they will. Absolutely.
That happened a while ago.
It's when they were going to try to kidnap her and kill her or do something. So, yeah, they will.
Were they not caught already? Because I thought they were.
They were caught. Yeah.
Okay.
But she wants to know if they'll be found guilty.
Oh yes.
Conspiracy. I don't know. Conspiracy to commit kidnapping. I'm sure that's illegal. I don't know, but
yeah,
I see
them getting in a lot of trouble.
I see them convicted and behind bars again. So,
all right. Let's see.
I'm scrolling here too.
Well, do you see Hawley being found guilty in participating in the January 6th insurrection?
When I saw him in trouble or whatever he did, I'm like, oh,
yeah,
dog meat. So they're gonna find some ties with him too. And I always saw him gone. So,
the one that I wish they would take out that was definitely involved, but I think he'll be able to slide by it. Is Ted Cruz, but I don't see him in for very much longer. I've always felt Senate seat for Beto taking out Ted Cruz.
You mean Cancun Cruz?
Yes.
He just irks me. When Paul Ryan resigned as Speaker of the House, he called Ted Cruz a demon. He's like, and when not Paul Ryan, the one before him, Boehner.
Yeah.
And when Boehner came in, he was whistling, whistle while you work. And he made some. He just really did not like Ted Cruz, and so I don't even think Ted Cruz likes Ted Cruz. He's so just obnoxious. But I see him gone. He's such a chameleon. He's kind of like a bad version of a Lindsey Graham. Anyway,
I clicked the wrong one. Stone Marble makes a good point. She says 8 Republicans voted against suspending normal trade with Russia. Not hard to figure out who did it, right?
And they're the same ones that holler about freedom and freedom of speech, and you can't make me wear a mask, and you're taking away my First Amendment rights and blah, 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 my Second Amendment rights. Okay, go to Russia. Let us know how you like it there.
Right.
Probably because they had some investments in Russia. That's why they voted against it.
Chris Wickens asked us a while ago, but the Don't Say Gay bill in Florida, are other states going to do it too? I think there might be 1 or 2 other states that try it.
They'll try, but if that goes to the Supreme Court, the Supreme Court's going to say you cannot limit people's freedom of speech. So I don't know. What is the bill like? If anybody says gay or a teacher says gay in a school, they can be fired. Is that what it is?
Yeah, and I think they can. I think that parents can be in trouble. Is that the right bill? Yeah, I think they can be fined for it.
That's not going to hold water. Yeah. I think everybody that's gay should stand in front of the Capitol in Florida, in front of DeSatan's office, and hold and shout, "Gay, gay, gay, LGBTQ."
Did you see how DeSatan yelled at those young men for wearing a mask around him?
Oh, I know. He is just, oh God.
Yeah, that's what I was getting it confused with, Susan. I was thinking the Texas and the trans bill. That's what I was getting it confused
Usually
with.
People that are that homophobic are very insecure about their own sexuality.
Yes.
So, and I mean, when DeSantis talks, he makes me look like Attila the Hun.
He's another one of those Republicans with the little hands. You ever see him talk? He's got like tiny hands.
Another nubs. Well, Oklahoma turned blue. I don't see anytime soon. But I do see more Democrats elected there, so good.
Electra Storm says that's what they're doing, standing in the state capitol on
Sunday. Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah, well, Electra, I like that. You go, girl. I think everybody that's watching, write a letter to DeSatan and just put the word "gay rocks" on there. Everybody do that. Write a letter to him and put "gay is where it's at." Wouldn't that be great? And then alert all the news stations across Florida. That's what's going on.
Yeah, I see him he would be very excited about that.
Well, we can fight back. That's how we can.
Right? Yeah.
Is that a question?
Yeah, Raksha asks if Andrew Cuomo is running again for governor. I'm not feeling governor, but I think he'll run for another office. I think he might lose the next one, but I see him being in office eventually.
But you think he'd win?
I'm not feeling for governor. I think it might be something state, or he might even try running for Congress or something.
Well, they can't really talk about him after you got people like Marjorie Taylor Greene, Matt Gaetz, and Kavanaugh. So how can they talk about Cuomo? I mean, I'm sure that, look, he was no angel, Cuomo, and what he did.
I agree.
But I don't know.
I don't think he would win his next one. I think it's in the future. It's a little while out there. He might win. He'll win something, whether it's state or maybe a Congress seat.
I can tell he was going to run again as Franken.
Oh yes,
and he'll win.
Was he Michigan or was he Wisconsin?
No, he's not from Wisconsin. I don't think.
I know he's in the Midwest up here.
I don't know what.
I think it might have been Michigan.
Al Franken. Let me see. I'll Google it.
Or Minnesota.
Minnesota. My husband, he's like good with that stuff. Okay. I like this one from Sherry A. Voices from the Swamp. I think we need to be careful that we don't wait too long to go in and help. She's talking about Ukraine. We want to let Ukraine do it themselves, but there comes a point when it's make or break time. I agree with you 100%, Sherry.
Yeah, I think I saw that earlier and commented on it. It's just a very tricky thing that we have to navigate.
Yep, I agree. All righty.
All right. I think we're slowing down on some questions. So, I feel that Kavanaugh's debt was paid. I don't think it was from the Kremlin though. Maybe there was funding from the Kremlin to the group that paid off his debt, but I don't think it was directly from the Kremlin. I'm
sure some dark money had something to do with it.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this one. C.S. Levy. Are Americans suffering from PTSD as a result of the Trump corrupt presidency and all the lies, etc., plus no arrest or accountability yet? Okay, well, there have been arrests, but not for Trump. But I still see him indicted. I've never seen him going to jail. But I think, the Trumplicans aren't suffering from PTSD, but many of us.
Yeah, a lot of us are.
but let that PTSD continue to get us to get out and vote and continue to speak up.
Thank you, Marie. All right. Yeah, I got that one. All right. Well, I went through all the starred questions. Yeah, we all have PS. What about Flynn and his brother? I feel indictments for Flynn and a lot of investigations around him and his brother.
So do I.
I think he may go back to jail, to be honest with you. That's what I'm picking up.
That's what I think, too. That's exactly what I think.
At least for Michael Flynn, but I see his brother's in trouble, too.
I'm sorry?
I said I feel Michael Flynn will go back to jail. I'm not sure of his brother's name. I see him being in trouble. I don't know if I see jail for him, but
Who's the one that was a general? Flynn, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I see him. I mean, I don't know if they fire him from the military or what they do.
Mm.
But why do I see him losing his military pension?
As you were saying that's what I was picking up too.
I'm checking something. Hold on, just give me 1 second. I apologize.
Oh, you're fine.
All right.
Gives me a second to keep up with the chat and get a couple more questions started.
Okay.
I just got one. Yes, please hit the thumbs up, everybody. I would appreciate that.
Please do.
Yeah, Bannon and Giuliani are going down as well.
Oh, they are. Hi, Hilda. Bannon, we just talked about. He's going to go goodbye. And I think Giuliani, oh, yeah, he's definitely in hot water. And he's out of money. And
Yeah.
Trump wouldn't give him any.
I don't feel good about Giuliani's health, though. I feel like he's a very heavy drinker, and I think it's done a lot of damage to his body.
I agree.
Marshall for
the time he was sweating the hair dye, remember that?
Yes.
I don't know, it was hair dye or some powder or something he put on his hair.
Yeah, that's it.
This brown running down his face. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, I see Cawthorn being involved with those Republicans as well.
Oh, absolutely.
He's an idiot. I can't stand that guy. Liz asks, do you see any of the Trump children going to prison? I've always felt Don Jr., and I feel Kushner may get some prison time. I'm not feeling any prison time for Ivanka or Eric.
I'm sorry, run that by me again.
Liz asks if any of the Trump children are going to prison. I've always felt that they'll make Junior into the scapegoat for them, and I've always felt him getting in a lot of trouble. And Kushner eventually will. I think he'll get some jail time, but I don't see Ivanka or Eric in prison. And I think Ivanka just barely gets out of it because she gives up a lot of information on her dad.
Agreed.
Are you feeling any new stimulus checks for this year? A lot of people are asking for seniors, but
I do see a stimulus check coming. Yes.
I think it's more towards the summer before the midterms, though.
Exactly. Now, I don't know if they'll call it stimulus. I don't know what they'll call it, but I do see more money coming. Absolutely.
And I think Biden's going to do something with the student loan debt before the midterms, too. And I think that will get a lot of Democrats out, to vote. I don't think he's going to write off everybody's student loan debt, but I think there'll be a certain amount.
So Connie B says Congress sends billions to other countries, and yet when it comes to voting for dollars for the general welfare of the citizens of the USA, blah. And she said it's her tax dollars too. But I do see, more stimulus checks. I do see the infrastructure bill totally going through. So I do see a lot more help coming for the American people as well. So.
Tucker Carlson is I don't see him at Fox much longer. And I think Linda has said it too. I agree. Fox is going to have a lot of lawsuits. What's that one that they have going on right now? I don't remember. But I see them having to pay out a lot of money for these lawsuits. And here soon, I think Fox News is going to make a lot of changes, not be so radical, and it's going to go more into in the middle.
I've been saying that for a long time, and I think, TC, we'll call him or her. I don't know. There's going to be some kind of inquiry into some of his stuff too, and I'll just leave it at that. But a lot of these lawsuits, because some of the stuff he's reporting is fact, really isn't. And I see that network getting lots and lots of lawsuits.
Yeah.
A lot of things. And they'll try to settle it out of court, but a lot of that will be leaked. So, right.
The chat's picking up again. Oh, we got 400 people watching. Hello, everyone. I think that's a record.
How many?
400.
Yay.
I think that's a record for my channel. Ask probably a couple more questions if you're okay with that, Mel.
It's fine.
All right. Let me ask you that. I see McConnell leaving soon, and I think I don't feel good about his health. I know he just got reelected, but I don't think he's going to finish his term.
I don't either. I didn't know if he just gets sick and has to leave, or they come up with stuff about his wife, which I see them coming up with a lot of stuff about her too. So
yeah,
Mitch, you ain't going to be you ain't going to be the majority leader anymore. I hope not. This might be
I don't see him finishing out his term. I don't think he's going to be in there for very much longer. He's
going to write a book called Backpedaling, how to ride a bicycle backwards, because he's good at that. I think that there will be there's more stimulus money, yes. And yes, there'll be some money for seniors, Pamela.
Yeah, Mitch is definitely tied to Russian money.
Right.
Yeah, and he's been sick for a while. And you can even tell, I think the one is all of his, outer extremities are all blue. His lips are all blue.
Yeah, I don't see him long. I see Cinema being probably primary out. She's, people in Colorado can't stand her. The Democrats can't stand her.
She's in Arizona, but yeah, I agree. I feel she'll be primaried out. And she's already been censured.
Is she
Manchin, I'm not so sure, though.
Is she Arizona?
She's Arizona, yeah.
Anyway. Oh, that's okay. That's Boebert I'm thinking of.
Yeah.
But I think Cinema's going to be maybe primaried out too.
Mm-hmm.
So
I don't know about Manchin. I think he may stay in there for a little while, but I mean, West Virginia is not going to go for the Democrats. So
no. So
I guess it's better that he'll vote for some things, but not what we need right now.
He will vote for some things, and it's better to have him there. And I'm not saying I like Manchin, because I don't, but then to have a Republican that's a Trumplican.
Okay. Are you picking up anything new on Ghislaine Maxwell and her case? I think she's trying to fight her, appeal, her guilty verdict, but she's not getting out of jail. She's not going to be successful with that.
They can appeal it, but she might not have to serve the whole amount of time they said, but she's not going to get out on, I don't see it's going to be. Somebody said Mohammed bin Salman. I got it. Yeah. Thanks, Patricia. in Saudi Arabia. I don't see him as king.
Yeah. And I think it's a while before his dad is out. I think he may be in some trouble because he was definitely connected to Khashoggi's killing.
Oh yeah, he's going to be in a lot of trouble. So anyway, well, I don't see him as king. I just don't.
Yeah, it's a while out there still. So
all right, Kevin, we got time for one more.
Yep. We'll end it with McCarthy. What's going on with him? I see him extremely nervous, and he knows some. I think it might have to do with that Russian money and dark money being exposed, because he's definitely gotten a lot of money. But I just see all these big Republican leaders just being so nervous because they know something big is about to come out.
Well, I also think a lot's going to come out about his meetings with Trump when he went to Mar-a-Lago. And so McCarthy's nervous. I don't know. I see a lot of stuff uncovered about him. And if I had to do the tarot, I would say I see the moon, which means a lot of stuff coming to the surface and all of that. So
a lot of secrets being exposed.
Exactly. Anyway.
And I think with that too, I think I don't think he'll be the minority leader in the House.
I haven't thought about that one, but I, he's really, I mean, once the Trumplicans are gone, he's really, I think he thought he was all that in a piece of toast, but really he shot himself in the foot politically at the end of the day. I mean, with the Trumplicans, it doesn't look like he's done that. But I think behind closed doors, a lot of the Republicans are against him too.
Well, a lot of from California too.
I'm sorry?
So he's from California too, and I think the district he's in, I think is more moderate. I'm sure they have some crazies out there, but yeah, I don't know. I don't feel good about him. I don't know. I don't see him in the Congress for much longer.
Well, I think behind closed doors, there's a lot of Republicans that don't like him either because of his affiliation with Trump, but they won't speak up because they don't want to lose the races on the Republican side. But I don't know. There's going to be a lot of stuff coming out, a lot of scandals. Mm-hmm. I like this one, and this is very good, ESL. How will the Russian people be viewed by the people of the world after this is over? Will anyone have anything to do with them? This is not the fault of the Russian people. They are innocent in this too. Just like when Trump was president and the stuff he was pulling, many of us didn't like him. We didn't like what he was doing. And so you can't take it out on the people. I'm sure there are people in Russia who like Putin, just like there are people here who like Trump.
Right.
They're both very dangerous. But the reports I'm getting, many of the people in Russia are against Putin. Like the woman with the sign she held up in the newscast, and a lot of Russians are leaving Russia. And so a lot of them do not like him. So, they're victims in this too.
I see a revolution for Russia, and it might take some time after Putin's out there. I think there'll be another guy that will make some progress, but I think he's not going to be in there for too long. The next leader after him, I see really doing a lot of really positive things for Russia.
And I see a lot of their nuclear weapons being disarmed too, so that's good. But I don't see Putin staying in power. And he's not in power for a long time. So yet to come, I see somebody else there that would tend to stabilize that whole region. So anyway.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you so much for watching. Thank you, Mel, for joining. It's always a lot of fun. I really enjoy working with you.
Same here.
Please make sure to hit the thumbs up on your way out, everybody. And if you're not subscribed to my channel or Mel's, please subscribe. We would both appreciate that. Before we leave again, real quick, if anybody wants to enter in my giveaway for 2 30-minute readings, I have a post in my community tab. It says I hit my goal of 3,000. Please comment here to enter into the giveaway. And I'll probably be pulling names for that in the next couple of days, and I'll make an announcement, okay?
Also, when I get to 15,000 subscribers, I'll give away 3 free half-hour sessions. And if you want to contact me, call my office, 847-590-5411. 847-590-5411. Get a reading from Kevin. He's amazing.
Thank you. I do have your number in my description box, and if anybody wants to reach out to me, my email's in the description box as well.
Yeah. It's easier to call us. I get so many emails. Sometimes we just can't keep up with them all, so it's easier to call. It's better to call.
You know what? And I had an issue with a client with the email, so I am going to have to get a business phone here soon. So that should be in the works here soon.
So when he gets a business phone, everybody call Kevin and get a
yeah.
All right.
All right, everyone. I hope you all have a happy St. Patty's Day, and see you all later.
Luck of the Irish. Namaste.
Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye.